What's up? Ian here, and this is my review, quick unboxing and graph measurements of this Tinhifi C3 IEM. Now, before I begin, I'd like to thank Lofi Girl for sending this to me and making this video possible. But guys, rest assured that whatever I say in this video is my own opinion. This video is not scripted, and Lofi Girl will be watching this video together with you guys. Okay, so Tinhifi C3. This is currently retailing for $49 US. So for those of you who are interested, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. Okay, so as usual, I will go through the accessories, I will talk about the specifications, and then I'll measure this IEM and I'll listen to it for a very long time. Well, not very long time, but long enough for me to give you my review of this Tinhifi C3. Okay, now this video will be timestamped, so for those of you who wish to skip around, please feel free to do so. Alright, so first let's remove the plastic. I have my trusty knife here. Okay, there you go. Is there any specs? Oh, let's go through the specs. Okay, so this is composite LCP super linear diaphragm 10mm dynamic driver. Okay, I don't really know what is super linear, but yeah, super line, I guess. Sensitivity is 104, frequency response is 10 to 20,000 hertz, impedance is 32 ohms, and that's about it. Okay, so that's for the specs. Let's open up the box. All right, paperwork, I'll put that one side, and let's pour this out. Okay, it's not coming out, so let's pull it out. I think I'm gonna break it. Yep, I did. Nothing in the box. Now let's see what's inside here. Okay, ear tips, cable, nothing else. And let's take a look at first the ear tips. Alright, so ear tips, they have provided 5 different sizes. Okay, so honestly, I'm not too sure what to make of it, of this combination of ear tips. Are there ear tips on this? Oh, there's one more set here of ear tips, so let's take it out. Okay, so honestly, I can't tell the difference between if you guys can tell the difference, let me know, but I can't tell the difference. Okay, so let's move on with the cable. Alright, so this is the provided cable. This is a 4-core cable and is braided. Terminates with a straight 3.5 headphone jack. And it's got a chin slider and cable organizer, the Velcro. Let me just open this up. Okay. And Y splitter. And yeah, so it's a silver color cable. Pretty okay, nice looking, and the body and the form of this cable is pretty good as well. It's not too stiff, not too soft, quite manageable kind of cable. Ear hooks are soft, pretty good. Okay, so I like this cable so far. Okay, looks like a pretty manageable cable. Yeah, so no complaints on the cable, very good. Now let's take a look at the IEMs themselves. So this is the C3. Okay, so this actually looks quite familiar in terms of the shape. Looks like the T3, but I guess inside the driver is different. Okay, so left and right on the faceplate, you have the resin with infill, okay, pattern. Looks like carbon fiber on the inside. So when you look at it at different angles, you can see a shimmer of the plates of the carbon fiber inside, and of course the Tinhifi logo on this side. They are both on both sides, so pretty generic looking type of faceplate. 2-pin connector on the top, and on the inner shell you have a very ergonomic shape. There's a fin, so this fin supports the IEM when it's in your ear. A very big indication of left or right, which I like very much. And the nozzle is kind of wide bore, I guess. 5.4, which is pretty wide. Yeah, so quite a wide bore. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take out my measuring rig and I'm going to measure this, see how they look on the graph. So be right back. Okay, so I am back, and as you can see, I brought out my measuring rig and I've done all the configurations and the calibration, so you guys don't have to watch through all that. So right, so I have the C3 right here all rigged up. So let's put the left side into the coupler, which is, this is the left side. Okay, and make sure the seal is proper, the insertion is correct. Now let's go to the computer. Okay, and let's measure. First, let's change this name to Tinhifi C3. Okay, check the sound levels. 88 dB, pretty good. All right, so let's begin. Let's see how it looks. Okay. Right, so this is the left side. All right. Okay, so let's take the left side out from the coupler and let's put the right side in. Okay, so this is the right side, as you can see. And make sure the insertion is correct. Right, so let's go back to the computer. Check the sound levels. And 88 dB, that's good. Let's go. Alright, so the channel matching is pretty good. In fact, it's almost identical. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to tidy up the graph and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, I have tidied up the graph. Alright, so what you're seeing right now, this red line is the combined left and right, the average of the two sides, right? And the dotted line you see here is the Harman target curve. And so let's analyze this. All right, so the base is the sub base is pretty okay, close, about 1 dB above the Harman target. The mid base is a bit boosted from the Harman target, so I would say this is a bit base boosted. Lower mids is also above the Harman target, so lower mids as in instruments with lower tones may sound a bit more forward. The mids as in the gain to the upper mids and the treble, it's pretty smooth. Okay, and the gain, I mean the presence is a bit dipped, which is a good there's pros and cons to this dip here. One is dark and bright, I guess, and the sibilance also, but there is a peak here at 8K, so let's hope that this is just the artifact from the coupler. And the air or the brilliance of the treble, I would say it's pretty close to Harman as well. This is yeah. Now let's take a look at the other graph which I neutralize. So the flat line that you see, the blue line, is the Harman target being flattened, and then the green line is actually the C3. So looking at this, right, it's above the sub base is above the Harman target. This is a bit warm. It's just a bit above the Harman target, so I would say this is a warmish type of listening experience. Treble, as you can see, this part here is below the Harman target, so these two dips here may make it a bit, yeah, may not be the brightest, may not be the most energetic, I guess. I don't know, I got to listen to it, but this peak here is telling me that this has got quite a bit of air in terms of the treble. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to listen to this with my IEM test songs, and I'll be back with my review of this Tinhifi C3. be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I've listened to a lot of my songs, my test songs, my IEM test songs, and if you guys are interested to know the list, do check out the description below. The list is there, or the link to the list is there. And the device that I use is my Hip Deck 2, my iFi DAC amp as well, my Android phone, my iPhone, my iPad, my MacBook, the dongle which I'm using right now, which is the M15, and Apple dongle as well. So this is what I think. Now the C3, I would say, is a solid performer, very balanced sound. It's good for a lot of genre. Okay, it's a very versatile IEM to use. It's not shouty, it's not sibilant. I don't find a lot of flaws on this. So in terms of that, overall, I find that this is a good performer in terms of the price that, well, not really in terms of the price that you pay for. This is like $49. Yeah, $49 for this. I mean, there's other competition out there that has got similar tuning at a much lower price, okay, which I'll go into later. But anyway, let's talk about the technicalities of this. All right, soundstage actually is a very, very good soundstage. Okay, I'm quite impressed with the soundstage. The soundstage seems to be coming from out to in, not in to out. All right, usually when I listen to my IEMs, it sounds like, sound is flowing out, but on this IEM, it seems that sound is flowing in, and instruments is like facing me instead of me facing together with same direction as the instruments. Okay, so very wide, very high, and it's got good depth as well. So soundstage, and it's got some sort of a holographic, but not to that point, like a very airy type of soundstage. So very good soundstage. For imaging and sound separation, is also very good. I can actually separate most of the sounds, and I can identify where they are coming from. All right, instruments especially, and vocals, they're all well separated. So yeah, imaging, sound separation, very good. Now for detail retrieval and resolution, detail retrieval is very good as well. Actually, it's quite clear, right, except for the bass, but I find that it's okay actually, for detail retrieval. Most of the nuances of the sound I can retrieve, but resolution is just above average. It's not the clearest, it's not the cleanest. So for resolution is above average. Okay, so that's for the technicalities of this IEM. Now let's talk about the bass. All right, so sub bass has got good rumble, solid rumble, well balanced tone to it. It's not too heavy, not too light, very well balanced rumble. Okay, and it's not too impeding, and it's not too shy as well. It's not too light, it's not too dry, pretty engaging. It's got a tinge of color to it, a bit of warmth to the sub bass. And the rumble is extended as well, very good extension to the rumble, and I can feel that it's very solid. It's got good body to the rumble and that, well, heaviness. Okay, now for the mid bass, it's got that thump, very thumpy, and there's some songs like let me see, okay, 5-Man Army Massive Attack. When I listen to the bass on this, the thump of the bass, oh man, this is really thumpy. A very good thump, very punchy bass, mid bass, and it's got a very solid firm bass as well. Okay, it's not too heavy. At the same time, it's a bit heavy. All right, a bit heavy. At the same time, it's not impeding. It doesn't really impede into the mids. That's just a bit, but it's a well balanced type of mid bass. Okay, so I feel that thump, I feel that punch, and it's just enough. Okay, I like the mid bass on this. Okay, so for the mids is forward. Okay, instruments, they sound forward. In fact, sometimes on certain songs, I find that the mids they shine, right? They've got good presence in the mix as compared to the sub bass and the mid bass. So actually telling me that the sub bass and the mid bass don't really interfere, or is giving some space to the mids to shine. Okay, so pianos, clarinets, trumpets, violins, they've got that space to shine. Okay, and very clear as well. At the same time, they have that good balanced tone, and they sound pretty much correct. Or it's got that natural timbre to their sound, and natural a good note weight to it. It's not too heavy, not too light. Okay, now for vocals, for male vocals, it's good, right? I feel that they've got a good presence, not a very authoritative presence, but it's good enough. Okay, and they sound natural, and actually, blends in with the entire mix itself. Okay, so it's a very good presence for the male vocals. For female vocals, they've got that energy, they've got that brightness, they've got that sparkle. Okay, so not a very sparkle, okay, but it's got the energy there. It's got good bite to their presence, a good presence and energy as well. So for female vocals, they sound pretty good on this. Okay, treble is not too dark, not too bright, not sibilant, not shouty, very well balanced. Okay, a very nice presentation for the treble. Okay, it's got this peak here at the 8K, but it's actually I think it's the coupler's artifact. I don't hear any sibilance on this. In fact, a few songs which I listen to, okay, for example, Say Something, A Great Big World. Okay, so this song here, together with Christina Aguilera, the S, okay, I listen out for the S, and on certain IMs that S is really sharp. Okay, and not just this song, of course, the Sweet Child of Mine as well. This song is also quite a sibilant with the guitars. Okay, if the IM is really sibilant, and a few other songs here. Okay, so in terms of treble, there's a very good presentation, and well balanced treble. It's not sibilant, it's not sharp, it's not dull, it's not dark, just nice. Okay, and the air on this treble is also very well tuned, I would say. It rolls off pretty naturally. Cymbal strikes and hi-hats, they've got that natural ting, and natural fade off, I would say, fade off and roll off, whatever you call it. But yeah, it's a very natural, balanced treble. Okay, right, so that's for the entire frequency. Now overall, again, as I mentioned, this is actually a well balanced tuning. Okay, I would say a bit too much for the mid bass, but yeah, it's actually not too much lah. Yeah, I kind of like it, and it doesn't really bleed into the mid, so very, very well tuned. Okay, now would I recommend this, and what is it suitable for listening to? Well, I listen to all kinds of genre on this, classical, jazz, techno, hard rock, metal. Yeah, so it actually plays most of the genre pretty well. This is a well balanced tuned IEM. It plays most of the genre very well. Okay, except for I think even for bass hits, I find that, even though the bass is not overwhelming, bass hits definitely will not appreciate this type of bass. But for me, I find that the bass is just enough. Okay, it's just enough to play most of the genre on my genres. All right, but yeah, I think it can play most of the genre. Okay, for in terms of price to performance. Okay, now this is where I think there's a lot of competition out there that has this tuning, all right, harmonish type of tuning, balanced tuning, and in terms of price, this is $49. So there are a few other IEMs out there. I mean, I can just show you what I just reviewed, which is this, not this one, sorry, this one, the Zero. Okay, 7 Hertz Zero. It's not as bassy as the C3, but if you look at the tuning, it's almost similar. It's just that it's got more bass, right? And then there is also, let me turn this off, there is the which I just reviewed, is this Tangju Honor. Okay, so this is the Tangju Honor. The 7Hz Zero is $17, right? The Tangju Honor is $19, or $19.90, which is $20. Okay, this C3 is $43. Okay, but in terms of technicalities, I would say this has got the best technicalities. I guess it justifies for that $49. Okay, but in terms of tuning, there's a few other IEMs out there, as you can see, which I've shown you, that has got the similar tuning. Okay, so it boils down to, do I recommend this? Yes, I mean, for the technicalities, if you were to listen to this, okay, I would say I would appreciate the technicalities on this, the soundstage, the detail retrieval, and the imaging and the sound separation, right? So I would buy this for those. But in terms of the tuning, in terms of the level of the bass, the level of the treble, and the overall listening experience, there's a lot of IEMs out there that is pretty competitive, okay, and cheaper. Okay, right, so that's my overall review for this Tinhifi C3. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Right, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next review. Cheers.